have a question from Tamir. Tamir is asking, what can you expect from your property management company? I assume what Tamir is asking is what services would somebody typically expect to get from their property management company. So, and that's a little bit tough to answer. I think you're going to get different services because you have different companies, but I don't think it's going to be broken down by services per company so much as probably the quality of the companies is where there would be a difference. It's not uncommon for a contractor to do some repairs on a few rental properties and to feel that they're capable of doing property management, and it really is far from the case. And also, property management is licensed, so you can find individuals calling themselves property management managers and claiming they own property management companies where legally they're not those. And I would assume the qualities of service would go way down in the list of services that they can actually are capable of doing. But talking about a licensed, higher quality, go to Google, do a search for property management companies in your area, and those folks that kind of tend to come up top of the search, those companies would very likely include the following services. I mean, essentially, those companies are going to come in pretty close to being turnkey, meaning you can hand over the keys to the property and they're basically going to handle everything for you, every aspect of that property. They're probably not going to pay your taxes for you. Some might. My property management company here in Philadelphia, we do not. They will probably take over the bills for the property. They'll handle everything. You, as the owner, you have to make sure you actually get yourself into the owner role. So you do have to tune in to what's going on. Hopefully the property management company is getting you more information than you need and getting it to you before you need it. So you should be getting monthly statements from them. I always recommend to my property management owners to create an email folder to where all communication from us will go from time to time, to go into that folder and just to review the statements, just to kind of oversee it. You do need to oversee. You do need to see it. It is your property. And I have encountered, including here in Philadelphia, I've encountered some really horrible property management companies, ones that actually blatantly break the law. Property management companies that have stolen security deposits or have even stolen rents. Recently, we had a large property management company here in Philadelphia that we took over that was actually renting the property and keeping the rents to stop communicating with the owner. I don't want to scare you. Again, going back to Google reviews or any of those review sites, and basically doing a little bit of due diligence. Honestly, it takes probably 5-7 minutes for you to find a good property management company. Look at the reviews. If they actually have several bad reviews, it's going to be a concern. My company is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars. But I will say, if in your market you might not see that high of stars, because anytime a property management company turns down a potential tenant because they're not qualified, it's not uncommon for said potential tenant to get angry and go on and give that company a bad review. I wouldn't think in any market you should not be seeing reviews. You really should not be seeing reviews under 4.5 out of 5 stars. Maybe. I mean, I would really look through at that point. I would look through those reviews and I would just kind of judge where are these bad reviews coming from. Are there any validity to it? So, I mean, when you see a tenant saying, these people are horrible, they turned down my application, that's not a valid review. If they're basically saying like, hey, they didn't fix any of the maintenance in my house and they're showing you photos of like, a rat standing on their table, then maybe you might want to run away, or if owners are basically going on and saying anything negative about the company. But I'm getting a little bit off track. So a property management company, a qualified good property management company, is going to tend to come in pretty turnkey. They're going to do all the rent collection. They're going to handle any late payments. They're going to handle any potential evictions, all the tenant screening, all the maintenance of the property. You as the owner, typically they are going to consult with you past a certain price threshold. So when my company, anything over $300, I mean, we communicate with the owners no matter what. So when a repair comes in, we share it with the owner, and we wait. But we don't wait. We actually start acting on it. But we expect that the owner's probably going to, if they have an opinion, is going to contact us before we can act on it. So meaning, someone's toilet is running, we're going to send that immediately to the owner. The owner's going to see what's going on. We're immediately going to try to schedule a solution to fix that problem. Typically, the owner can obviously text or email us or call us much quicker than a contractor could probably get to the property. So if the owner has an opinion, we want to get it. But again, most property management companies will have a threshold. Ours is set at $300 to where we have a right to do a repair up to $300 without your permission. So they're basically going to handle all maintenance of it. Hopefully they're consulting with you in any major projects on it. They're going to oversee all the work that's done in a property. They're going to typically handle all the legal compliancing. So some municipalities, many of them, you have to get a rental license. You have to do several different things to satisfy the city, even satisfy the state. And the property management companies, most of them, the qualified ones, are going to handle all that for you. Hopefully keeping you in the loop the whole time. So that's the one thing where I would... So I think most property management companies are going to have these services. I think where some property management companies might start lacking and you might have a problem is not every property management company is going to keep you in the ownership role, and you do want to stay in the ownership role. You want to know exactly what's happening at all times. I mean, you need to know if your property management company is a good property management company or if they're a bad property management company. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by checking your owner statements and seeing the communications. In our case, a tenant will actually have a work order. They'll go through their tenant portal, let us know what's going on. They're actually putting in some verbiage into that. So they're basically saying, hey, my toilet's running. This is the third time. Why won't you fix my toilet? That's actually getting sent off to the owner. So if that's actually something that's actually happening, if we actually sounds like we're not taking care of this poor tenant's toilet in a timely manner, the owners kind of would be seeing that. So that's not the case with our company. So the owners are getting to see that what little words the tenants are putting towards a repair. They're actually getting to see that. They're also getting to see the photos. They're also getting to see our move-out inspections and all those photos, etc. And so in that way, they're kind of judging if it's a good company or if it's a bad company. So you actually have to get that. So definitely make sure that you're actually in the owner role, that you're getting statements and you're getting the information you need to judge the property management company and to make owner decisions. It's your property. You may have painted a very stylistic paint in the property when you live there or when you purchase the property, but now you've owned it for 17 years and you might now want to refresh the paint, make it more stylish, or just to have a new paint job. And that really is an owner decision. I mean, our property management company will go and make the recommendation to you. We'll say, hey, if to paint the property is going to cost X, but we feel it's going to increase your rent by X and reduce your vacancy by X, so it makes sense for you to paint it. In that scenario, the owner's kind of making that decision. So I keep getting off track, but yes, property management companies should be pretty turnkey. They should be handling every aspect of the property, from finding new tenants to screening those tenants to collecting their rents to dealing with the late rent payments to evicting the tenants if it ever comes down to that, to when the tenant's moving out, handling all the security deposits, handling all the legal compliancing, and then of course remarketing to find a new tenant. All right. As usual, this is Joe White, local Philadelphia property management company owner, trying my best to answer your questions. As usual, happy rental property investing.